Hello friends, welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College, Pune. Standard 10, Science and Technology, Part 2. Lesson 1, Heredity and Evolution. Friends, in this video, we are going to learn Darwin's theory of natural selection, Lamarck's theory of inheritance of acquired characters, and speciation. Darwin's theory of natural selection. Charles Robert Darwin was an English biologist who proposed the theory of evolution. His theory was called as theory of natural selection. He showed that all the species of living organisms have been gradually evolved over the period of thousands of years from common ancestor. He proposed that principle of natural selection is responsible for this evolution. Darwin published a book titled Origin of Species. Charles Darwin had collected innumerable specimens of plants and animals, and depending upon the observations of those specimens, he published the theory of natural selection. While explaining the concept, Darwin says that all the organisms compete with each other. In this competition, only those organisms sustain which show the modifications essential for winning the competition. According to him, nature selects only those organisms which are fit to live, and the rest perish. Thus, natural selection is often described as survival of the fittest, where fitness refers to the ability to survive and reproduce. This theory also describes how organisms change over time as a result of changes in heritable physical or behavioral traits. Sustaining and selected organisms can perform reproduction and thereby give rise to the new species with their own specific characters. Changes that allow an organism to better adapt to its environment can help it to survive and have more offsprings. Thus, Charles Darwin explained these four concepts in his theory of evolution. First, natural selection. Second, survival of the fittest. Third, evolution of organisms. And fourth, adaptation. All these concepts together is now known as Darwinism. All these concepts can be very well explained with these two examples. Number one, the finches of Galapagos Islands, whose beak seem to be adapted according to the nature of food found in different areas. Second, the black and the grey colored British peppered moths that lived on the tree trunks inhabited by grey-colored lichens. The grey-colored moths easily camouflaged themselves on the tree trunks and were protected from their predators. The black moths were easily noticed by the predatory birds and were consequently eaten by them in greater numbers. So the population of grey moths was much higher than the black ones. Later, as a result of Industrial Revolution, there was an increase in the level of pollution. Owing to this, there was hardly any growth of lichens on the tree trunks. Instead, the tree trunks got covered by soot, which gave them a black color. Now, it were the black moths that began to get protection, and the grey ones were easily detected by their predators and consumed by them. Nowadays, the black moths are found in large numbers. Therefore, selection by nature is not deliberate, but is natural. Darwin's theory of natural selection was widely accepted for long duration. However, some objections were raised against the theory. They were: number 1, natural selection is not the only factor responsible for evolution. Number 2, Darwin did not mention any explanation about useful and useless modifications. And number 3, there is no explanation about slow changes and abrupt changes. Lamarck's theory of inheritance of acquired characters. The theory of inheritance of acquired characters was proposed by Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Lamarck proposed that the morphological changes occurring in living organisms are responsible for evolution, and the reason behind these morphological changes is activities or laziness of that organism. He called this concept as principle of use or disuse of organs. He also said that the activities of organisms are responsible for their evolution. Each animal or plant undergoes some changes in its lifespan, and those changes are transferred to the next generation, and such changes occur in next subsequent generations too. This theory can be explained with some of the examples. The neck of giraffe has become too long due to browsing on leaves of tall plants by extending their neck for several generations. Wings of birds like ostrich and emu have become weak due to no use, and legs of the birds like swan and duck have become useful for swimming due to living in water. But snakes have lost their legs by modifications in their body for burrowing habit. All these examples are types of acquired characters and are transferred from one generation to another. This is called as theory of inheritance of acquired characters, altogether known as Lamarckism. Objection of Lamarck's theory of inheritance of acquired characters. The transfer of acquired characters from one generation to another was rejected, even though the development of organs due to specific activities or their degeneration due to no use at all was widely accepted, because it had been verified many times that modifications brought in us are not transferred to next generation, and thereby Lamarck's theory was disproved. Speciation. Species is the group of organisms that can produce fertile individuals through natural reproduction. Well, formation of species of plants and animals is the effect of evolution. Each species grows in specific geographical conditions. New species are formed due to genetic variations, geographical isolation, and reproductive isolation. All these are necessary for speciation. So students, to summarize, in this video we have learnt about Darwin's theory of natural selection, Lamarck's theory of inheritance of acquired characters, and speciation. Thank you.